Memories passed down in genes from ancestors. Memories may be passed down through generations. In DNA, in a process that may be the underlying cause of phobias, memories can be passed down to later generations through genetic switches that allow offspring to inherit the experience of their ancestors, according to new research that may explain how phobias can develop. Scientists have long assumed that memories and learned experiences built up during a lifetime must be passed on by teaching later generations or through personal experience. However, new research has shown that it is possible for some information to be inherited biologically through chemical changes that occur in DNA. Researchers at the Emory University School of Medicine in Atlanta found that mice can pass on learned information about traumatic or stressful experiences, in this case the fear of the smell of cherry blossom, to subsequent generations. The results may help to explain why people suffer from seemingly irrational phobias. It may be based on the inherited experiences of their ancestors. Related articles. 13 of the most unusual phobias. September 6, 2013. Genes could explain memory differences between men and women. July 20, 2008. So a fear of spiders may in fact be an inherited defense mechanism laid down in a family's genes by an ancestor's frightening encounter with an arachnid. Dr. Brian Diaz, from the Department of Psychiatry at Emory University, said, "We have begun to explore an underappreciated influence on adult behavior, ancestral experience, before conception. From a translational perspective, our results allow us to appreciate how the experiences of a parent, before even conceiving offspring, markedly influence both structure and function in the nervous system of subsequent generations. Such a phenomenon may contribute to the etiology and potential intergenerational transmission of risk for neuropsychiatric disorders such as phobias, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder." In the study, which is published in the Journal of Nature Neuroscience, the researchers trained mice to fear the smell of cherry blossom using electric shock before allowing them to breed. The offspring produced showed fearful responses to the odor of cherry blossom compared to a neutral odor, despite never having encountered them before. The following generation also showed the same behavior. This effect continued even if the mice had been fathered through artificial insemination. The researchers found the brains of the trained mice and their offspring showed structural changes in areas used to detect the odor. The DNA of the animals also carried chemical changes, known as epigenetic methylation, on the gene responsible for detecting the odor. This suggests that experiences are somehow transferred from the brain into the genome, allowing them to be passed on to later generations. The researchers now hope to carry out further work to understand how the information comes to be stored on the DNA in the first place. They also want to explore whether similar effects can be seen in the genes of humans. Professor Marcus Pembry, a pediatric geneticist at University College London, said the work provided compelling evidence for the biological transmission of memory. He added, "It addresses constitutional fearfulness that is highly relevant to phobias, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorders, plus the controversial subject of transmission of the memory of ancestral experience down the generations. It is high time public health researchers took human transgenerational responses seriously. I suspect we will not understand the rise in neuropsychiatric disorders or obesity, diabetes, and metabolic disruptions generally without taking a multi-generational approach." Professor Will Frink, a genetics at the Bradham Institute in Cambridge, said, however, further work was needed before such results could be applied to humans. He said, "These types of results are encouraging as they suggest that transgenerational inheritance exists and is mediated by epigenetics. But more careful mechanistic study of animal models is needed before extrapolating such findings to humans." It comes as another study in mice has shown that their ability to remember can be affected by the presence of immune system factors in the mother's milk. Dr. Miklos Tov, from Weill Cornell Medical College, found that chemokines carried in a mother's milk cause changes in the brains of their offspring, affecting their memory in later life.